Hi everybody, I'm Marcus Bean, and this weekend of course we are hosting our virtual food festival at Redford Barns in Shropshire. Not our normal location of course of the Ludlow Castle that we're normally at running our normal food festival. As you know, this year we haven't been able to run any of our food festivals, which is such a shame for us and the festival, and we are asking for your help to come back so that we can come back next year. To do that, please head across to Ludlow Food Festival website. You've got the chance to donate. We need to raise £40,000 by December to allow us to go into next year. One of the things we wanted to do was create a virtual festival, which I know sounds a bit weird and a bit strange, but what it allows us to do is to have some chats with producers and some camaraderie off the camera there, to talk to some of our producers and also get their involvement in what's going on and why Ludlow is important to them and not only us, and allow us to support them as well. So without further ado, with one of our producer tats, a great friend of ours, a really, really good, very talented person, I'm going to introduce you to the incredible Joel from Joel Black Knives.
That's it.
If you can head across to his website, you might have seen some of his work. Incredible stuff, and actually also in the last couple of years you've been demonstrating at Ludlow.
I have. I've
Is
been doing
right?
demos. We take an anvil, we take a forge down, and we make things in a castle, which is a lovely thing to do.
Which is incredible, yeah. And I know we've got something very special which we're going to talk about a little bit as we go along. But in terms of making knives, you know, when did you start doing that? Where's that come from?
So I actually did a degree in blacksmithing about, well, must be about 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
Hereford College of Arts, and that basically mixed with my previous career as a chef, and so I started making chef's knives. It's something that I've been using all my life, and something.
And there's always one of those knives. Is one of those things that's quite particular, isn't it?
It's very particular. People get used to using a certain knife, and there's a lot of people who buy a set of knives at the beginning of their career and they follow through their whole career, and it's something that's very particular to a chef, and if you look after a good knife, it lasts you a long time, you know?
Indeed, yeah. So I'm loving the idea that going from chef to blacksmith, I suppose probably marginally better hours, but I'm not sure.
Marginally better hours. I still cook. I cook steel instead of food now. I don't have to cook for as many people.
A little bit hotter.
It's a little bit warmer, yeah. I work mostly just over 1,000 degrees or just under 1,000 degrees depending on what I'm doing.
Some serious heat.
So you're talking sort of yellow, white hot most of the time.
Amazing. In terms of the knife making, as I say, we've sort of met at the food festival, and of course I've used your knives, bought your knives. You've been over to us at Brompton, done stuff. How did you get involved in Ludlow?
So Ludlow just popped up. It's my workshop's in Bromyard, so it just seemed like a sensible food festival to come to. I met John and Jill from Sitch Farm.
Yes.
At Taste in London, I think it was. And they were like, you must come to Ludlow, you must come and do this amazing food festival. And we came down one year, had a little pitch, and we just never looked back. It was really, really...
And that's it. And
it's a significant part of our diary now. It's
I was going to say, yeah,
every year.
It's quite interesting because obviously, you know, lots of people are very supportive of Ludlow. You know, I know being here and, you know, sort of demonstrating over the years, it's always been quite important for me because, you know, you can go and find incredible different things, but also as well that collaboration between the two. So really you only came to Ludlow because of that recommendation of John and Jill.
Absolutely, yeah.
And also as well, you know, when you're there, have you had quite a few collaborations from that and meeting people?
Yeah, I mean, you meet a lot of people in the industry. It's a special little festival because they support a lot of local independent producers, and it really separates it from the larger food festivals because you've got a sort of specific area for those local producers, and that's how you meet all the little local connections and stuff. Like I say, John and Jill. John's come out and made knives with me and things like that. He's donated lumps of Land Rover steel and things like that. And
you can get quite creative. I've noticed. I mean, and we're going to come on to something that is very special in a minute. But you can make lots of things, you know, out of those steel. So you can grab something. Was it like John was saying that he came and did to you? He got like a Land Rover spring or something, and then made a knife out of it.
John was halfway through restoring a Series 2 Land Rover, and he brought me some springs. Not sure if it was from his Land Rover or someone else's, but we ended up turning the Land Rover leaf springs into meat cleavers with John over a couple of days. It's a lovely thing to do. I mean,
I was going to say, what a story.
Yeah, I mean, not all steel's great to be repurposed, but what I tend to do is use a lot of the recycled steel for cladding and bits that aren't the actual cutting edge. So you've still got provenance of the material in there and a really good bit of steel in the middle.
Amazing. Because we've obviously been talking about, you know, supporting Ludlow, which is such a key thing for us now to get into next year and carry on, you know, bringing people like yourself to the festival. You know, what would it be like to lose Ludlow Food Festival?
Well, we missed it this year. I mean, it's a really nice couple of days. It's a lovely time. Not only do we enjoy ourselves, we make some money, we have fun, and that's what's really special about it, actually. All the people that are there and just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing with Ludlow, and again, it's very much like yourself. You know, you could be in that workshop and you could be working as many hours as you need to, and sometimes you're there, you're on your own. There's probably not many other people about, so you can zone out and do that, which is great for business. But actually, sometimes you don't have that element of socialisation.
Having FaceTime and contact with customers and people is really, really important, especially for what I do, because I'm one of those typical craftsperson who's never. I can always see my mistakes, but so sometimes I'm not very confident with what I make, and apparently I make quite nice things.
You do make some very good things, yes.
But as a maker, it's always nice to push, and that's what makes you better. You push, you make things better, and when you see, you know, a few thousand people over a weekend, and everybody loves everything, and you're selling everything, then it inspires you with confidence and helps you.
Yeah, I think it's that passion, isn't it? You know as well as I do. You know, it's like making a dish, isn't it? As a chef, you make something if you're proud of it, and it's the same thing with you. And I think to get that recognition element, is the dog, that recognition element really makes a big difference, because you get to a point of where you go, I understand it now, and actually that's really nice for you after all that hard work that you put in. One of the reasons, obviously, you know, Ludlow's become so iconic is because I think we do support those producers. We encourage people like yourself who are starting something new in a different business that we want people to be able to adapt and change into. And most importantly, I think, you know, it would be such a shame to lose, you know, again, the festival and having that time for you, which is why it's so important. You know, we're going to come on to this knife, because this is a very special knife. So I mean, I'm going to just hold this up here, and I'm going to hold it just a little bit closer, just in case.
Not too close to the fire.
Not too close to the fire. But this is obviously one of your iconic knives, and your knives are fantastic. But this is a little bit special. This is something different. Just tell us a little bit about this.
So last year, I think it was, I can't remember which birthday it was for Ludlow Castle.
25 years last year.
25 years of Ludlow food. So I asked if I could do something special, which was, I basically asked the castle if they had any scrap bits of metal.
Oh wow, okay.
So the castle custodian came up with a bolt that used to be part of the castle gate. So as you go through into Ludlow Castle, there's all of these rivets all over the main gate.
Oh yes,
which have been there for, I don't know, probably since the castle was built. And those are made of wrought iron. So wrought iron's got lovely character to it, and obviously it's got a lot of history to it. Also, there's the handle's made out of a piece of wood, which was knocked off the castle by somebody a few years ago.
Good
Sorry,
catch
there you are.
Watch the fire, watch the dog.
That's the one.
Will I?
So the handle's made out of a piece of the castle, which is the original piece of the castle. I think it's oak. It's got a lot of character to it as well.
So this is really bespoke. This is bespoke
absolutely.
Not only just as a bespoke item, but it's bespoke because it's part of the castle, which is so iconic in that
That's
landscape.
it, and not only does that mean a lot to me, but it also should mean a lot to the people who come to the castle and support the festival as well. So it's actually got a mixture of, it's got a wrought iron bolt in there, it's got some pure iron which helps stick everything together a little bit, and then right down the middle we've got a nice bit of German tool steel which is called 1.2519. It's very technical. It's basically just got carbon in it and tungsten in it, but it's a really nice hard solid bit of steel. So
wow, amazing. So on the note of why this knife is so special, you have very kindly, obviously as a supporter of Ludlow Food Festival, Joel has donated this knife for us to auction off. And we're not just going to, you know, because this is important, obviously, being something that's tied into the castle. So I think probably even this alone is worth, you know, a lot of money in terms of its, you know, the landscape and what it involved, and I suppose the detail and the history of it. Also as well, what we're going to do is we're going to do like an auction lot. So we've paired up with our sponsor Kadai, who have also supplied us with one of these fire bowls, which we're going to be getting as well as part of the lot. And also as well, one of our sort of festival favourites, Risden and Risden, have given us a street apron, which is, if you go on their website, is worth about £100 as well. And we're going to auction this, so we're going to do it slightly differently. I know you've sort of, you know, you do a lot online, and again you've auctioned a few little pieces for us as well, but this is a special one that we're going to combine all those three, and we're going to do it only on Instagram. We're going to do it on Instagram Live, and we're going to ask you to auction and bid for this lot. So the lot is the incredible one-off bespoke knife. There's not going to be ever a knife that's going to be the same as that.
No, not at all.
You probably can't even get the rivets in the piece of wood now,
I've got kind of attached to it. It's been in the workshop for over a year.
I was going to say, so it's a bit special. It's almost like one that needs to go on the wall in your workshop.
But it needs to be used.
Yes, exactly. And this has been unused, isn't it? This is brand new.
It's brand new. It's been, well, I say brand new. It's brand new second-hand, as it were.
But untouched with the
untouched.
the chef's hand.
Only me.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all been polished up with natural Japanese whetstones, which are pretty special in themselves.
Yeah.
The little black bits, 5,000-year-old bog oak from just north of London in the Fens. And like I say, in the handles, a piece of medieval castle. I mean, it's it's a revamp of Ludlow Castle, basically.
In a knife.
Yeah.
So on that note, so think of Kadai, think of your street apron, but also think of your exceptional one-off knife that we've got made by Joel. We are going to auction this off, okay? The whole lot, I would say, in the region of around about £700-800, I reckon this is worth, because this is a good £500 plus. You've got your bowl, which is a good couple £100. You've got a street apron. We're going to start bidding on Instagram at £250, and because this is a little bit bespoke and it's a bit special, all the money is going to be, these have been donated by Kadai, by Joel, and also by Risdon. Everything is going to go straight into the Ludlow Food Festival pot for allow us to getting through. We're going to start at $250. We're going to ask you if you want to make a bid to bid in £50 increments, and we're going to end the bidding at 9 p.m. on Sunday on our Instagram Live. If you want any more info, go on to the Ludlow Food Festival website to donate, even if you don't want to go for the bid and auction this. I know I'm going to be placing an auction bid on this one. Please do it. It is really special, and to have that bit of history from the castle and also help us support getting Ludlow Food Festival back next year. Joel, thank you so much. That is an incredible donation for us for the food festival, but also for someone else who's going to purchase it.
Well, not everyone can afford a castle, can they? But if you can afford a part of a castle.
I was going to say, yeah, I reckon we're going to have bids from all over the world for this thing, because it's an iconic piece of landscape.
Yeah, totally.
And also, if you look at Ludlow, not just the food festival, to have just that involved is pretty bespoke. So thank you very much to Joel. Please head across to our food festival website and also Instagram Live from now going forward, closing 9 p.m. on Sunday. Get your bid in, £250 starting bid, £50 increments. We're going to look forward to who is going to be our winning bidder. And thank you so much for joining us again, Joel. Hopefully next time we'll be in Ludlow Castle next year doing the festival. We'll have you there, forging knives, showing people.
I sincerely hope so. It'd be brilliant.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you again.